would let this stay. Thought you knew me so much better. You're on a lifetime sentence, so now you never feel my presence. So we thought I would let this stay. Thought you knew me so much better. So we thought I would let this stay. Thought you knew me so much better. So we thought I would let this stay. No, that's right. The words don't mean a thing to me. Sleepless night, your love has left us incomplete. Thinking that your promises will fit so right. Oh, that's right. So I put you on a lifetime sentence, and you no longer feel my presence. So we thought I would let this stay. Thought you knew me so much better. You're on a lifetime sentence, so now you never feel my presence. So we thought I would let this stay. Thought you knew me so much better. 'Cause I don't. So we thought I would let this stay. Thought you knew me so much better. So we thought I would let this stay. So I put you on a lifetime sentence, and now you never feel my presence. So we thought I would let this stay. Thought you knew me so much better. On a lifetime sentence, so now you never feel my presence. For real, we thought I would let this stay. Thought you knew me so much better.
Shout out to the CIA. We're going to be changing a lot of that stuff up this year. Gentlemen, what's going on? Ladies, how are you? All right. In 2020, it's going to be about next level. I said it, I've said it in the end of 2019. We're done talking about all the entry-level beginner stuff, arguing over, no more discussion on why you should wear a suit, what you should do. No. All that content is back on my channel, is in the archive. I've done live streams on a multitude of subjects. Now it's time to start talking to, it's time to start talking about what comes next, life. Let me see what's going on. Let me actually go through the chat room and say what's up to people. I know there have been other live streams going on today. But guys, you know, I'll be honest. I am focused on like a laser on men's personal development, becoming a better man, becoming a better man. And to that end, understand something. This is going to be a no hate zone. This is a no hate zone because the kind of men I hang around, the kind of people I like in my life, these guys are competitive, solid, good guys. They laugh a lot. They smile a lot. The women I deal with are feminine. They like men. They laugh, they smile, they're naturally caring and naturally giving. And here's the reality. Salute to you too, Smarty Smart. It's almost like living in a different world. Because if I were to talk about gender war or some of the things that kind of go on in the YouTube streets, people are like, I don't deal with that. Let me ask a question for you guys right now. How many of you follow me on Instagram? How many of you follow me on Instagram? If you follow me on Instagram, put a 1 in the chat room. And today I'm going to teach. I'm going to teach today. So when I teach, here's what I need you to do. I need you to make sure you like the stream and make sure you subscribe to the channel, minimum. All right. So right now we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The ones are showing up. All right. So for the people who follow me on Instagram, you often catch my impromptu live streams, my Instagram stories. Let me see if I can do this. Let me see if I can show this from last night. Gentlemen, what's going on? Let me get to the important part. You don't really see a bunch of unattractive, overweight, charming. We don't talk about. Last night I was out and about at a local spot here in Atlanta, just grabbing me a nice dinner, enjoying life. You trying? I'm just talking to my guys about an event I have coming up in LA. Oh, cool. That's nice. What's your event, if you don't mind me asking? It's called MIT, Men in Training. I get guys together basically teach a little bit of etiquette, a little bit of business. Yeah. That's amazing. Yeah. You're tired of women saying, I wish guys were more old school to learn how to go out places. Don't even know what a salad fork is. Isn't that saying you have to train them to do it? Everybody got to teach somebody. Okay, I'm just happy there's an option out there for them to go and learn, and they can stop using it acting like they don't know and use guys an excuse. See, the thing is, they don't think women like you like guys like that. Huh? They don't think women like you like guys like that. No, they're crazy. Tell them. On behalf of the women, we appreciate you. All right. Yeah, Jedi. She was hot. It's a beautiful woman. It's a beautiful woman. That woman, when I sat down at my table, and I had my head down, and when the server comes over, she introduced herself, and I looked up, and I had to pause for a second, like a deer in the headlights, because her eyes were this beautiful brown eyes, nice, pretty teeth, smooth skin. That woman was just fine. And I had to play it cool. I was like, oh, but I've been there before. I'm gonna tell you something, hold up. But as much as I found her attractive, I understand what I bring to the table. The long and short of it was I asked her, and you guys can on Instagram can verify. I asked her last night. So, excuse me, are you married? No. Are you engaged? No. Great. That means I can flirt with you. This big smile came across her face. Oh, no, no, I am single as all get out. And I'm like, then we're going to have to see what we can do to change that. And for that moment, it was a wrap. I handed her my phone. I said, here, put a number in here that you're going to answer on the first call. And I said, even better than that, Thursday night, let's go out for a drink. Let's get to know each other. But I'm not looking for friends. You're on Instagram, you saw it. And then after that, she said, yes, I went back to doing what I was doing. As I get ready to go and everything else, now understand, little snatch waist, pow. You can see a flat stomach. I mean, the woman's fine. So anyway, I had another hour or so before it closed, but I left because I had stuff to do. Understand something. What I'm pointing out, gentlemen, is I tell you life happens outdoors, happens outside. Now, if I hadn't been at if I hadn't been out, I never would have met her, never would have had the opportunity to meet someone that's just cool. Don't know what's going to happen from it. But the point is, guys like myself, guys like I'm trying to help a lot of you guys become, women love men like this. Sorry. And when I talk about go out for a drink, why not a dinner invite? Let me tell you something, lady. Let me tell you something right now. And this is something I need a lot of you ladies to understand. With respect, they're pleasant and compliant because they like you. When do you get to see? Look, this is why I'm trying to get you to understand this, that you're going forward. There's no more of this negative shit over here. I just don't have time for it. Why did I ask her for dinner? Because dinner is a day. Dinner comes if I decide I like you and I'm going to dinner. See, let me tell you something. A lot of women today are wanting traditional men to do traditional things, but you gotta earn these things. You gotta earn them. Men like myself, we're not fools. I'm not gonna just sit out here and go take you out to $100 dinner just to get to know you. That's a girlfriend privilege. So for the person who asks, what about a drink? Why not dinner? Well, let's flip it up. You want a girlfriend benefit? Well, let's go. Let me ask for a boyfriend benefit. Instead of going out for a drink, how about if I just said, how about we just go to your place and have sex? See, Blake Henry, Brad, Lee, Ahmed, Keith, Enrique, high earner, not rich yet. These guys are professionals. They know their worth in the business world, in the real world, and in the dating world. They are confident. They know women are attracted to them because they have an image that puts forth that because they have a solid image. Let me just get real. This year, one thing I resisted doing on this channel is, I don't want to come across as braggadocious or anything like that. But when you look better, you smell better, you win more. And women love men who win. Women love men who smell good. Women love men who look like they know how to handle themselves in the boardroom or in the bedroom. Women love men who look like they know how to handle themselves in a fight. Women love men who don't act like children. And this is why it's time to start getting your man skills up. I don't care how good you are in bed for this segment of the conversation. I need to know what your resume looks like on some other things. Now, before we keep on going, I need to go ahead and see. We got to get the likes up, man. We got to get to at least 100, 130 likes before I continue. Dinner says a lot. No, like, let me understand. Let me explain something to you. Key on the Living Magic. And I'm not trying to be rude to you either, but I need you to understand something. When was the last time you took a man out to $100 meal? First date. See, one thing ladies like yourself are going to need to understand is men are cost benefit calculators. If you expect dinner on the first date, you won't be dating my boys. You won't be dating guys like me, because you know who gets that? No one. Because there are women out there who are 8s, 9s, and 10s who are willing to actually would like to just share your company for a drink. Why do you need to go to dinner if a drink will suffice? Dinner is a commitment. See, the reality is a lot of the reality is so many. I don't want to go there, but let me just put it this way. In order to have the mindset of wanting dinner on the first date, you got to be a dime. And understand something too. Blake Henry knows his worth. Women aren't doing Blake a favor by going out with him. That woman I met last night is not doing me a favor. Quite the opposite. I'm doing her a favor. We're exchanging something. She gets the benefit of being around a guy who knows his value, knows his worth, is a go-getter, a business owner, and all these other kinds of stuff. And that's what intrigued her. Understand something. Let me just say this too. Another thing. A lot of women, if you don't have an active dating life, you should just sit back and listen. Because I'm gonna tell you, Blake Henry, that guy who's in the top 10, the top 20, top 10%, guys out there trying to become masters of the universe, I've already said it. 100 women, 145 pounds or less. 5'9", 145 pounds, 145 pounds the top end. But you got to be a size 4. Size 6 on the high end if you're 5'4" and under. If you're 5'9", size 8. And see, here's the thing. You don't have to like what I'm saying, but I work with guys like me every day. I talk with guys like me every day, and their wives, their girlfriends, their significant others, they actively get out there and compete to keep their man, because understand something. Blake Henry knows women aren't the enemy. We may understand the modern dating world, but I date. I don't just do coffee dates or this. I date. Okay, let me handle this. Why are you here? Guys, give me 3 seconds. Give me 3 minutes, because I want to deal with this. Why are you here? Jedi, I need you to focus. Kiona, Living Magic. Why are you here? Why are you here? Don't delete her stuff. Don't do that. I got it. Bruh, don't time anybody out. If they don't insult, don't time them out. The reality is, Blake Henry knows women aren't the enemy. Blake knows his value. Blake knows his worth. And here's the thing. Blake, when you are a high value man, that's a term a lot of people like to use, you're attractive to women across the board. in your group, out of your group. Personal development. What are some of the things that women, what are some of the things that, the kind of, let's be honest, what are some of the things that feminine, beautiful women say they love a man to do? And you got to ask yourself, guys, where do your skills rank? Where are your skills at? All right, but before we get into it, 220 people watching. I'm gonna need 5 people to go ahead and throw something on the super chat. There we go. Feminine women will not allow a stranger to buy dinner first. Thank you, Greg. I want to go ahead and give something Greg said a little bit more highlight. When you're dealing with the truly feminine woman, she doesn't want to lead men on. Truly feminine women, beautiful women, inspirational women, they know that if they allow a man to do things for them, that he's expecting something in return. Quality women don't just go out to dinner with a guy she's not interested in. She doesn't just go out to, she's not a dinner. There was this whole thing about, what was it called? Dinner whores. They don't do these kind of things. Understand something. My boys and the kind of women that are around, my clients, the kind of guys around, don't deal with a lot of this negative thing. I mean, I asked this living glass person something because you don't hear women talking like that. You don't hear really feminine, beautiful, inspirational, beautiful, hot women talking like that in the real world. They don't. They don't have all these demands. They're happy. You want to go out to the art museum? You want to go out for a walk in the park? If a woman is feeling you, she's feeling you. Now, I don't like to just go for a walk in the park. I like to go out to dinner. I like to do these things. But here's the thing. You get to join me on someplace I'm already planning on going. And I have an active social life. Let me tell you why I have an active social life. Because I have skills. And here's some of the skills that will make you a guy that women love. You need to get a life. Is your life attractive? Is your life attractive to where you could actually go sit down somewhere and talk to a beautiful woman or the kind of woman that does it for you, and you actually got something to say other than, "Ooh, you're pretty. Ooh, I think you're gorgeous. I love your body." You got anything to talk about? See, what made this person or other women you get see interested to talk to me is because I got something to say. I look like I belong somewhere. I'm by myself when when you guys see me, I'm by myself because I don't put the women I deal with or my guys or anybody on video. I'm the public person. You're never going to see my life on the video because I'm not opening my private life up for trolling. You get this. But let me tell you something also too. There's always a lot of smiling and people are happy and laughing. Let me ask you guys, how many of you guys know how to cook? Gentlemen, do you know how to cook? All right, we have not had one donation. I will shut this thing down and go straight to Patreon. I'm not on here talking about a lot of screaming and hollering and cussing this person out, but what I'm talking about right now are life skills. We had 240 people, 250 people watching. Throw something on it. How do you join Patreon? Link down in the description. Guys say that they know how to cook. We're going to see. We're on break until you guys actually hit the donate button. That's where we're at. Kiona, I don't think this is going to really be the channel for you. You haven't answered my question. The next thing I see you write, I want to hear you tell me why you are here. That's all I need to really hear from you is why are you here? We got 3 minutes. 3 minutes. If 5 people haven't donated to the stream, we shut this down. We have 3 minutes. If at least 5 people haven't donated to the stream, shut it down. So we thought I would let this be. Thought you knew me so much better. You're on a lifetime sentence. So now you never feel my presence. So we thought chat. The chat has been restricted to members only mode. No one can type in the chat room unless you are a member of the channel. I'm not playing, guys. If you're not a member or moderator, no. Members, I'm not looking for the members or the moderators. I'm looking for people new people. Shout out to Mr. Jamal. Says he know how to cook a little bit. Oh, there we go. Shout out to the Tiny Evangelist. Appreciate it, Michael Mims, latest member of Patreon. Shout out to Cole. This is some more stuff your father should have taught you. And all right. There we go. See how effective that is? This year, it's not just about coming in here and having your own conversation. When I'm teaching, I expect you to pay attention. I'm not going to be here long, but I'm not going to allow people who are just attention seekers to come in here and disrupt my class. That's not what we're going to do. Attention seekers are not going to be allowed to come over here and disrupt my class. There are people here who really are wanting to learn how to get better, how to become better guys, how to become the best version of themselves, that kind of stuff. And I want to help you guys do that. So if that's what you're here for, if you're really trying to improve yourself, get your man skills up kind of thing, well, let's get to it. All right, talked about cooking. And see, one of the things I need you guys to understand, when I ask, do you know how to cook? I don't mean just basic stuff. I don't mean, can you make spaghetti? I mean, do you actually know how to actually use knives? Do you actually know how to make pasta? Real cooking skills. One of the best things I've ever done is actually going to cooking class. Going to cooking class was one of the best things I did for me, because understand something. You develop your palate as you develop your skills. Okay? Cooking is universal. When you cook, there's lots of love that goes into cooking. Now, if you donate it, it'll come through. I actually have the donations here. Knowing how to cook is important. So in any local city, what you go to, type cooking classes near me and go check them out. I want to run down this real quick and I'll keep on moving. But developing your palate means learning how to cook more than just, the homemade dishes that your mom may have taught you how to make. Everybody learned how to cook growing up, basic stuff. I'm not talking about basic stuff. I'm talking about kind of meals that will wow people. You know what I mean, guys? The kind of stuff that will wow people. The kind of stuff that'll be like, ooh, girl, I met this guy, and instead of going out, he invited me back to his house for dinner. And I thought it was going to be, that old boring stuff. And girl, he actually made a meal from Tuscany. Can you cook Italian food? Not spaghetti. Can you cook French food? Can you cook Asian food? This is what I'm talking about. Let me give you an example. Knowing how to make a good steak, knowing how to make a good seafood dish, knowing how to make a good pasta. These things are important to being able to develop your palate as a man. Something like this. All right. You'll learn here, cast iron steak with red wine sauce, truffle mashed potatoes, pear and hazelnut glaze with champagne vinaigrette, espresso, chocolate whipped mousse. Dude, that's the kind of stuff I'm talking about. Okay. Where's the other course? Cooking with wine. I've taken this class. Festive bread workshop. I haven't done that one. Mastering the essentials. This is another good class. Italian favorites, strip steak, pesto, pasta, gnocchi, arugula salad, mint chocolate chip gelato. 3 desserts everyone should know. Guys, these classes are all around your city. Just waiting for you. Just waiting for you. And And the cool thing is every time you learn how to do something like this, you increase, you increase your skill sets. You become better. You become a better man. You become a better man. And the funny thing is, you'll be amazed at how interested you really start to get in this stuff. You get to learn like basic knife skills to where you'll surprise yourself. You'll surprise yourself. You'll surprise yourself. So for the guys who said they know how to cook, do you know how to cook at that level? I do. And I love it. I love being able to cook and plate. All right. So developing your palate. Women love a guy who knows how to cook well. So when I'm talking about, do you know how to cook? That's what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about, do you know how to make a lasagna? It's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about, do you know how to do you have 3 signature dishes that you could cook for anyone and they say, ooh, that stuff's great. All right. Also, when you're developing your palate, see, a lot of times, like if in the Southerners love fried sweet. This was when you go to different parts of the country and you're like, ooh, what's unsweetened tea? Developing your palate makes you a broader, more interesting person and allows you to float from here to there. Case in point, I'm a very broad individual because I love to live life. I love to seize life. I love the band Tool. I mentioned it the other day. I'm going to see Tool in concert. Going to see Tool in concert, going to an art opening. There's always something to do if you have a broad palate. Let me check to see what's going on in the chat room. Another great thing about cooking classes is you will find cooking classes is a great place to meet women. Bottom line, it's a great place to meet women. Some of the most impactful women I've met in my life, I've met at a cooking class because you're there for about 4 hours. You're working in a group, you're working on things together, and they don't typically see guys like you and I in that place. So, man, cooking classes have made me money and improved my love life. Women also love men who, when you have a broader palate, when you're starting to broaden yourself as a person, it will tell because it will spark other interests. Learning to broaden your palate and learning how to cook and things like that is a natural lead in to things like wine. Say I make pasta, steak, and dumplings. That doesn't sound. I make pasta, steak, chicken, and dumplings. Oh, okay. Understand. Next, when you go from cooking to things like wine, how many of you guys really, really have a good understanding of wine? I'm talking about you know how to pick out a great wine. You can match, you can pair wine. You know how to, what goes with this, what goes with that. I don't mean you just drink it to get drunk. I mean, you learn how to drink wine socially. And think about wine. There are wine tastings around the city. There are wine clubs, there are wine groups. Wine by its very nature is a social drink. Cooking, wines, you get to go learn around your city. Trust me. I use PF chain bags meals. I don't know the difference. Well, that's a problem. Well, and see, that's the thing. Here's the thing. For men who aren't very curious, if if it doesn't make any difference whether it's from a bag or over here, if you're just not really curious, this isn't this isn't for you. I'm not talking to guys who just want to be average and boring. The thing is, a lot of guys are afraid to to broaden themselves. They're really afraid. And honestly, that's something you're gonna have to work out on your own. It's it's not normal for guys to be this timid about life. You go anywhere in the world, the best chefs are men, the best cooks are men, the best uh, stylists are men, the best designers are men. It is not normal for guys to sit around and be this scared. See, you don't want to be cool. You don't want to be smooth. You don't have any kind of class. It's like, I want to be, you got this thing twisted up to where it's like, uh, being a man is simple. It's almost Neanderthal. It's like, oh, I'm more of a man when I'm just simple. I just eat a sandwich and water. That makes me a man. No, it doesn't. A man has a palate. A man is well-rounded, cultured, educated, learned, versatile. And this is why everything I'm talking about today, developing your palate, is going to put you is going to pull you out of your house and put you out in the world. And that's the biggest thing a lot of guys really fear. You lack social skills. You don't know how to talk to people. And that's something you got to get better at. Cooking, wine, and wine leads into a couple of other things. These two things are distinctly masculine. Cigars and liquor. Just like you can learn about wine from white wine to red wine, different varietals, what this means, what that means, what this region, what that reason, these tastings and all that other kind of stuff, and it opens your world up. Same thing with liquor. Liquor, bourbon or scotch. Determine which one you like and why, and then opens your world up. Because liquor and steakhouses go hand in hand, just like cigars. And the cool thing about all these things is they're almost distinctly masculine. They put you in proximity to other movers and shakers and masters of the universe. Deals get done in steakhouses. Deals get done in premium smoke and premium cigar shops around the city where guys actually have their own locker, where they'll go up on Sunday and pull their cigars out and watch the game, talk business. Cigars, liquor are what powerful men and men who want to be powerful and successful have always known. If you don't know anything about, if you really don't know the difference between, if you don't have a palate for scotch or bourbon, if you just drink to get drunk, if you just drinking Long Island iced teas, you're trying to get full, rum and all that kind of stuff, guys, this is something that is a growth area for you and something that's easy to learn about. Easy to learn about. All right. Go ahead and put you in timeout. I'm telling you right now, if I see you in my chat room and you make a negative comment, I'm putting you in timeout. I'm not putting you in, and I'm the person I just put in timeout was somebody who just came in and says, I'm not drinking, no smoking, just to fit in. This is the wrong place for you. Nowhere did I say you had to do either or. Just say it. I'm fear-based, I'm scarcity, and I don't want to learn anything any different. Fine, wrong channel. None of the stuff have I said you have to do. But honestly, you shouldn't even type that. And that's the kind of stuff that will not fly over here. It won't fly. If you don't like something, keep it to yourself. This is not a debate. This is not a conversation. This is a lecture. All right. Learning how to make drinks. Thank you very much. He said, I don't want to mispronounce your name. El Rahim started with Scotch, Glenlivet 12. D. Jones, thank you. Old Fashions, Angel's Envy, Basic Hating. Look, learn how to make 5 mixed drinks. You need to learn how to make a cosmopolitan for women. You need to learn how to make a bourbon drink, a rum drink. You should learn how to make a drink for each thing. But I'm a bourbon and a scotch man. I don't drink like I used to. Matter of fact, I don't really drink, but I love to know how. I love to go to scotch tastings. I love wine tastings, cooking. You said you put something on Super Chat and charged me, but it didn't post? Hold on. Brandon Tate. I don't see anything, Brandon. I don't see. I think you just subscribed. I see you just subscribed, but if you put it on Super Chat, it would actually not only post, it would actually ring out. So now, where's Officer Faulkner? It would do something. It would do this.
This is a test donation for $1.
All right. So next. So after you cooking classes, so you learn how to bring, cook for yourself, cook for your lady friends. Then we talk about wine, cigars, and liquor. Now we get into the fun stuff. The fun stuff. The next two things are going to separate you from the crowd. Going to separate you from the crowd. Let me paint a picture. Back in the 1970s, we used to do a lot of roller skating. And when you roller skate, that was the first time you could actually go back to the movie Roll Bounce or whatever. That was the first time if you saw a girl you had a crush on, Keisha or Tammy or whatever, you go skate with her. Couple skate, and everybody's skating around, but you always had the dudes that were better on skates than you. And they could skate faster, or they could speed skate. And the thing is, you'd always have the knuckleheads. But okay, cash out. Shout out to ePay. Yeah, I'll read the cash apps in a minute. But think about, one thing that used to kill me is, and when it was all skate, it was crowded. You know what the best time was? When you could actually have a backward skate, because everybody and mama could skate this way, but only the pros could skate backwards. And when you could backward skate, guess what? Everybody else is sitting there over there watching you. So Keisha and Tammy, you could get their attention because you was in the crowd, but when you was backward skating, cool, man, them the girls were like, ooh, because women love men that other women dig. So Keisha or Tammy or Rebecca is sitting over there, and all the girls like, ooh, girl, Kevin's cute, but look, I didn't know he's that cute. Look how he move on them skates. Okay. That's the kind of separation I'm talking about. And men who understand art and photography, artists and photographers get more women. The only people that get more women than artists and photographers are musicians. But artists, you walk around Atlanta on any given day, I see guys walking around with cameras and beautiful women. Matter of fact, it's a whole hustle where dudes like, hey man, you've heard about the Instagram photographer hustles, man, but learn how to take practice amateur photography, amateur painting, and learning about art. Come on, man. Okay, Brandon, I remember. Come on, man. This is something your father should have taught you, but your uncle teach you. Your uncle's teaching you. Come on, man. The camera I'm on right now is a Sony a6300. I got a Sony a6400, a Sony a7, amateur photography, man. Can we talk? Yeah, sidewalk jazz. Yeah, see, jazz and music, you know, you're getting ahead of me. But I'm talking about two things that separate you from the crowd because they put you in direct eye contact with your subject. Ooh, you're beautiful. I would love to take your picture. I would love to paint you. Some old Titanic stuff. Man, come on. Y'all better understand something. You better understand your godfather know what he talk about on this one. Photography, painting, art. Next, music. Thank you, Virginia Slade. Music. Broaden your palette when it comes to music. I'm going to film, I'm going to be on IG when I'm going to the Tool concert. And you're going to see an amazing night because Tool, I love the band. But you know, one thing I love about growing up in the 80s and MTV is it forced me to get away from Motown, R&B, and soul. If I wanted to see the only two videos, either Prince or Michael Jackson, I had to listen to The Police, Van Halen, Spandau Ballet, The Cars, Rick O'Kay. I had to listen to a lot of things. And you know what I learned is I like a lot of this stuff. Going to different little concerts around the lounges and concerts around your city puts you in direct contact with a lot of people that you normally wouldn't associate with. And you know what's funny is oftentimes they'll see me like, well, you're a 50-year-old black guy. You like Tool? It ups your cool factor. Variety. Thank you. Queen. Thank you. It is concerts are well, especially if you have your favorite bands like Tool, it's well worth it. I'm going to be lower level, front row, center stage. Not front row, center stage. And I'm going by myself because that's not something I would want to take a date to. That's wife privileges. And I'm also going to make a video on relationships. I need to clarify some things. But understand, Blake Henry, my boys, the guys who want to be the master of the universe, to get out there to be the business owners, the entrepreneurs, the executives, the guys who want to own their own firm, the people who want to do stuff, understand something. Women are not our enemy. We understand the dating environment and we accept it. In-person, online, dating apps. We accept the unfairness of the modern dating scene, and we win in spite of. I have a homeboy who just got engaged, and he went through a horrific divorce. But I tell you this, I know he won't get a divorce this time because his fiance has been well vetted. He has taken in all this information in these spaces and used it to become a better man, a better professional, a better person, a happier dude, and he's happy. I am not anti-relationship, anti-marriage. Get that out. And understand something. Blake Henry, 80% of you will be married. Being a bachelor for your entire life is not the state for the average guy. And yes, to move up, you're gonna need you're gonna need social connectedness. And that's what all this stuff is about, social connectedness. And the last part, the last one, before I open it up for questions, is if you master what I'm about to say right now, all your boys envy you. Everybody be like, dang, I wish I knew how to do what old boy can do. If you learn how to dance, dancing, ballroom, learn how to waltz and tango, and then salsa, basic salsa, Then if you want to do samba, merengue, but just learn 3 different dances: salsa, some form of ballroom dance, and you will always have things to do. I have clients right now who are getting, who are socially rusty, but by virtue of the fact they dance, dancing puts you in direct contact with women. You get to hold them, for God's sake, and get out there and dance and move. Trust me, fellas, men who learn how to dance, I've always been a good dancer. Actually, can't say I've always been a good dancer. When I was a young boy, my coordination was off. I was shy, awkward, clumsy, but I made myself a better dancer. And yes, telling you, man, when you are a good looking, when you are have a nice classic masculine frame and you can do all the things I'm talking about, being able to dance puts you in the stratosphere. It's not even competition. But see, the only thing I want you to understand is the basic rules still apply. When you're doing all the things I talked about, I still need you to make sure you smell good. Frames, fragrance, and footwear. Frames, fragrance, and footwear. Everything I just talked about, when you go to cooking class, I need you to smell just like a masculine, clean man. Talk about some basic fragrances. That's what all these are here for. Until you develop your own palette, your own fragrance style, your own fragrance thing, you can never go wrong just smelling like a masculine, clean man. Acqua di Gio Profumo, best fragrance on the planet, period. Fits that bill. Um, these two, Prada L'Homme or Dior Homme Eau. Perfect. All these are perfect office fragrances, perfect to be around people you don't know, women you don't know, guys you don't know. And they smell great on the air, and they're great when someone gets close up on you. Have you seen these two killers? Bleu de Chanel, Dior Sauvage. These are both the Parfum version. Guys, on both sides of the neck, one spray on the chest, and on the back of each hand, because it's winter, pulse points if in the warmer months. Sadly, this one's discontinued, but if you can find it, Gucci Pour Homme d'Eau. But this Tom Ford Grey Veteran Eau de Parfum, especially for guys over 30, I'm telling you, this stuff is magical. Let me keep on going, because Mugler Cologne, especially as we get into the spring, smells just like clean Irish Spring soap and musk. Terre de Hermes, Vetiver in orange. Women love this stuff. And then Chanel Egoiste. This stuff should be outlawed. It's so damn good. Every one of those fragrances, guys, that I just showed you. Oh, well, I'll show you another one. Santal 33, another great, simple, clean, fresh fragrance. That's for any, and I'm going to make a video on great, inoffensive office fragrances that drive women wild. Women love these fragrances. They are compliment monsters. And women, when I say broaden your palette, give yourself variety, I want you, if you're a white guy and white women dig you, but you should also be attracted to Black women, Hispanic women, Asian women, and other women. If you're an Asian guy, you should still be attracted to white women, should be attractive to you. Black, when you are universally attractive to all women, that's what makes you super select, in my opinion. And when you know beyond a shadow of a doubt, you can walk up to a woman, and whether she's interested or not interested, you walk away from that interaction with a smile, and so does she. That's what I want for you guys. That kind of confidence. And see, getting your appearance right is one part, but getting becoming a more effective communicator, becoming smooth, seductive, charming, charismatic, confident, cool communicator in your personal life And in your professional life, especially in your professional life, pays real dividends. See, then as you start to develop your palate, you can go from the basic stuff that I just showed you to things like this. This little bitty 30 ml, this 30 ounce, this 1 ounce bottle of fragrance has gotten me more attention and more interaction. This is what started it all last night. I mean, I came in on a black turtleneck, some black jeans, some boots, and a black pea coat, but I was wearing this. And I know this is one of the fragrances that drive women wild. Everywhere I go, people ask me what I was wearing. I had dudes coming up to me, no homo, man, what you wearing? It's this. I knew the good things could happen. It's kind of like putting Reggie, it's kind of like putting somebody who's 90% from the free throw line on the free throw line, on the line. Unfair, I mean, this just gave me advantages. So it gave me at bats. It started conversations. It made people say, and that's what I want for you guys. Everything that I just talked about gives you unfair advantages over your competition. So what guys don't want an unfair advantage over their competition? I don't want you guys to play fair. I want you to play smarter and harder. I want it to be unfair. To where when you decide to approach a woman, see, that's another thing, this whole thing about, choosing signals and all that. Yeah, getting choosing signals is cool, but you still got to approach. Select men, alpha men.
What is the name of that fragrance?
Nasamato Pardon. You still have to approach. And that's something we're going to have to talk about, man. Blake Henry approaches women. Blake Henry approaches women, talks to them, smiles at them, strikes up a conversation because he likes women. He looks at a woman and will say something like, man, I saw you stand over here and I just knew how to kick myself if I didn't come over and introduce myself. That's what Blake Henry will do. That's it. Blake will go over and say, I know this is super random, but you're so cute, I just had to come over, but you're just so cute, I had to meet you. Dude. Or even better, excuse me, can you tell me how to get to Starbucks? Or guys, Blake approaches women. And then he'll do something like this, depending upon the reaction. Man, you're the fourth hottest girl I've seen today. And you've got really big hands for a girl. But you got to be super hot to do that kind of stuff. Because if you already got your uniform on, your uniform of success, see, I believe in style personalities. There are 9 of them. There's one that fits us better than any other ones. Then I believe in you actually wearing a uniform. Because when you have a uniform on, you have your frames, your fragrance, your footwear, all that stuff is working. You out there walking like you have like your own soundtrack playing. People are looking at you like you're somebody. People notice you. That's what, I don't know what it is with this whole thing about guys wanting to, well, I don't want to do this or do that. I don't want to stand up. You want to be noticed. You want to be noticed, and you want to be noticed for the right reasons. See, another Patreon thing I'm going to do this year is we're going to start talking about your accomplishments, your resumes, and start taking credit for stuff. Man, look, if you're a winner, you're a winner. Stop this whole downplaying stuff to where you don't, man, forget it. You accomplished something, be proud of it. Thank you. Dude said he didn't shoot his shot today, and I'm kicking myself.
Didn't shoot my shot today, and I'm kicking myself.
See?
She sent the choosing signals too.
Let's talk about it. There are women that have sent me choosing signals in the past, and I didn't shoot my shot, and I still regret it. And that's one of the biggest things I work with when I deal with guys. All right, let's say we get your appearance, everything all together. You're making up the money, and you're living where you want to, and everything is all aligned. Then you go out to your favorite restaurant or bar, whatever, and you see your Stacey Dash or your Selma Hayek, or you see the woman that does it for you. Say Stacey Dash, a young Stacey Dash, or a young Selma Hayek. Those are my two. Ooh. You see the woman that does it for you, and then she looks at you, and then she smiles, drops her eyes, and drops them and looks back at you. Choosing signal. Do you have the confidence to approach her directly? Not wait, to just approach her. Say something witty, charming, and interesting to make it happen. Can you say, excuse me, are you married? No. Engaged? No. Great. I can flirt with you. You're single? Great. See what we can do to change that. Put your number in here. Put a number in here that you know you're going to return. Instead of doing all that, let's go out for drinks this Thursday. Are you up? Instead of doing all that, just go out for drinks this Thursday. And she smiles and she's with all of it. What if I hadn't done any of that? What if after that interaction I showed you guys on Instagram, I'd have just ate my meal and said, nice meeting you. You can't go back and recreate that moment. And see, that's the thing. You can learn how to actually take your shot. I learned how to do this kind of stuff. So can you. And that's the difference between coaching and not. There's no amount of videos. There's no amount of podcasts that are going to make you better at this. This requires one-on-one coaching. One-on-one coaching and evaluation. Because you can't go through what I went through. You can't go through the millions of dollars worth of sales training. That's the difference. And Mr. Allen, I guarantee you, he'll tell you that the regret he's feeling, you don't want to feel that anywhere in your life. Let me talk. All right. Give me a second and we're going to open it up for a few questions. And I want to talk to the ladies. But give me just a second.
Here we go, cut this minstrel comes on repeat. Cause you seem to forget how much you are hurting me. Do what's right, you say you will, but then you don't. You just don't. You don't care, cause you don't take me seriously. What's there to repair if you don't want to talk to me? You should know your time is up, the more I'm mad. Cause I'm putting on a lifetime sentence, and you no longer feel my presence. So we thought I would let this stay. Thought you knew me so much better. On a lifetime sentence, so now you never feel my presence. So we thought I would let this stay.
Don't you need me so much better? All right, ladies. Phoebe. Okay, so we got Blake over here. Then we got Phoebe on the other side. Feminine, beautiful, inspirational. Understand something. That if you're in your 20s, there's a market for you. If you're in your 30s, there is a market for you. And if you're 40 plus, there is a market for you. The older you get, the more you're going to have to sell yourself. See, in your 20s, guys will just approach you based on your hotness. In your 30s,
Didn't find your Streamlabs chat. Just coming in, but I'm sure whatever the message was, it was good.
investing in my tuition.
They appreciate it. I've been pursued by a actually had of mine. He was real. He was for real to. I understand what you're saying. Understand something. FBI women, the best thing you can do is really have a good idea of your real sexual marketplace value and then act accordingly. See, men get an accurate assessment of where we rank all the time. The world is set up to tell men where we really rank. The world is not truly set up to tell women where they rank in an honest way. And the best thing for truly, and the best thing for truly, the best thing for a truly FBI woman to do is find out, you know, your real sexual marketplace value and then act accordingly. I say it again. It is often very hard for women, especially women over 30, to hear the truth about their situation. However, whether you hear it or not, it does not change the reality and the facts on the ground. The older you are, the more social you're going to have to become. I mean, not nightclubs, not lounges. I mean, cooking classes. I mean, things that put you in proximity of the kind of guys. You're going to have to develop an active social life and develop your social skills to be able to sell someone on something other than your youth and your beauty and your fertility. That time is past. Now, for my boys, for the guys, for the Blake Henrys of the world, one of the most attractive things a woman can do is really understand where she is. Understand where she is. And this is where a lot of times guys talk about cooperativeness. Just like earlier, we had someone in the stream and asking all kind of unrealistic questions. Men in general, especially high value or successful guys, that's a turnoff. They don't tolerate that stuff. And I'll tell you this, one of the best things, if you really want to become an FBI woman, get around happy women. Happy women who speak well of men. Happy women who speak well of men, all men. I mean, understand something. Ladies, if you want to have the best shot for getting the man of your dreams, the guy you want, this is my personal opinion. My personal opinion. You need to be around happy women who speak well of men. Because women, more than men, you are influenced by the opinion of others. And if you're around people who always tell you, men ain't this, men ain't that, a man should do this, a man should do that, understand something. The dating market today is very competitive. It's cutthroat. All is fair in love and war. And just because, and what you want, if you really want what you want, what are you willing to do to get it? What are you doing? So, all right, I'm going to leave it open for questions for the next 5 minutes. Let's see what kind of questions we get in here. The thing is, Sigma male, it's cutthroat, and it should be. It's competitive. Look here, man. If me and Sigma male strategies are out, and I see a woman that does it for me, and he sees a woman, and he sees the same woman, and he's my boy, I'm gonna tell him, I'm gonna get her. I'm gonna tell him. And he gonna tell me, oh, I'm gonna get it. All right. One of us will. And the other one doesn't get mad. He just goes on. You want it to be competitive because if you're out here competing, if you're out here moving and shaking and doing what you need to do, steel sharpens steel. Questions? Questions on the topic, please. I don't know why y'all ask me questions about stuff. Dude, microdermabrasion, not on the real topic. CIA means confident, intelligent, assertive. See, and the funny thing is, a lot of guys can be intelligent, but a lot of guys lack real confidence because they don't assert themselves. They don't take the shot. Fear and rejection is a lifelong curse. I fear regret more than I fear rejection. Oh, okay, I'll answer that. Look, man, just because you don't need prescription glasses does not mean you can't wear frames. Um, just get them with clear lenses. Happens all the time. Yeah, fear regret more than rejection. How would you develop your art skills? Plug into your local art community, check out local meetups, find local art galleries. I mean, there are art galleries around any city. Go. Simply get in your car and go. There's somebody working there. Talk to them. See, in the day of internet and Google, people have just forgot how to do basic stuff. How would you go on a date? How do you maneuver when you don't drink in social settings? Order Perrier. I do it all the time. Order Perrier and win. See, not drinking is not a problem. Now, I like wine. I like scotch. I like bourbon. Sometimes it can give me at one point in life, I feel like I developed an alcohol allergy to where like 4 out of every 5 times I would drink, I would get a piercing headache, almost like a migraine. So I stopped. But just because you don't drink does not mean you cannot maneuver in social situations. Lack of drinking is not the real issue. It's lack of ability to make small talk, connect with people who are not like you, find common ground, and avoid conflict. Let me say that again. Most people lack the ability to make meaningful small talk, avoid arguments, find common ground. Why do you think guys, when you go to like Buffalo Wild Wings, why do you think guys can go to a bar and talk when the game is on? Because the common ground is you may both be fans of so and so team. That's a skill. That's a skill that can be learned. Do you think it's a great idea for women to talk about their accomplishments well? No. Assassin class, I don't. No. Because honestly, if you're around the kind of men it comes off as being masculine. And honestly, yeah, you're right. Men don't really care about your accolades individually because it comes off as like, why are you trying to compete over here with us? Instead, I suggest, and it's just my personal suggestion, for women who are accomplished and have multiple accolades, where's the balance? Because when I hear a woman talk about all the things she's accomplished professionally, I want to hear the balance. Okay, then what about personally? If I spoke to three of three of your ex-boyfriends, will they tell me you're very loving? Will they tell me you're fun? Will they tell me you're caring and nurturing? What would they say? What would they say were the best times of a relationship outside of the bedroom? Because that's really what matters to Blake Henry. Blake Henry's gonna get out here and get it. He doesn't need you to pay bills. Doesn't need you for your accolades. You guys may become a power couple. I need to do a video on power couples. I need to do a video on power couples. Maybe I'll do that one tomorrow. But he does not need you because for your accolades. He needs a feminine woman and a good teammate. How do you organize your um, hold on. How do you organize your life? How do you organize life for balance with such variety and skill sets? First of all, sleep less. You only need 5 to 6 hours of sleep. Organize your life. This is what coaching is good for as well. See, I wonder how a lot of you guys, I wonder, oftentimes I hear guys talk about how busy they are. And when I look in their day, they're really you're not as busy as you think you are. You have someone look at your day from a coaching standpoint, and then we'll really see how busy you are. Because if you're not putting in 60 hours at work a week, 60 hours you're getting paid for, I don't get it. Somebody said, how does the average man with below average salary begin to invest himself? You just answered your question. You got a below average salary, you got to make more money. See, this is something else we got to really talk about. An image consultant is not for average guys. 51% of people are average. It's the 49% of people who want to be in the top 10%. Look, there's a reason you go to Princeton or Harvard versus the state university or college versus community college. Princeton costs more, Harvard costs more because of the network associations, the pedigree, and the connections. And if you got a below average salary, that means you got to work more jobs. And the way you got to work more hours you're getting paid for. You got 2 jobs. Whoever told you one job was enough? You got below average skills, you're going to have below average salary. You need to increase your skills to make more money per hour. So you're not having to work 80 hours. You're only having to work 60 or 45. But I'm sorry. The reality is average people, below average income, I didn't make these rules, but unless you're willing to put the work in, you're stuck. And the thing about being in this country versus other countries, at least you have an opportunity. How do you interrupt your own hesitation in the moment? Practice. This is another thing with coaching. See, another good thing about what coaches do is you get a chance to role play and practice these situations. This needs to become muscle memory. You didn't step to that woman because you knew you couldn't close. You didn't have anything to say. And even if she said, hey, how you doing? My name is Mr. Allen. What's your name? Jennifer. you stuck. You got nothing. You have no script. You have no presentation. You have no clothes. You have no purpose. And your whole thing was really, wow, I saw you looked over at me. Wow, I thought you attractive. You looked at me. I saw you look over here at me. And I came over here hoping to say the right thing so I can have sex with you. Try that. That's better than not approaching. But really, coaching. All right, I'm gonna answer a few more questions, get out of here. Um, how do you approach women if you don't draw but write? Same thing, no difference. I'm a 19-year-old male with a part-time job trying to gain knowledge. 19 years old, you shouldn't be here. 19 years old, you shouldn't really be here worrying about women. At 19 years old, you should be worrying about whatever you're at, your head should be down until 30. You should be working on your image and your purpose. Get your mind right, your body right, get your image together. It's about opportunities. Dating and relationships are not a priority. The thing is, so many of you young guys are trying to skip steps and speed up the process. It's not your time. It's not your time. It's not your time. It's not your turn. I mean, honestly, think about why at 19 years old, why would I have needed an image consultant or any of this stuff? I was a sophomore in college. How would you recommend improving small talk skills without coming off as disingenuous? Okay, I got to take this question. Who told you small talk was disingenuous? This is more of that negative scarcity mentality. You've watched too many damn videos. We're watching too many red pill, dating, all this other kind of stuff. That's not the real world, man. See, a lot. That's why I say this channel is about positivity. That is I don't even understand how you get to that point. I don't want to make small talk. I just want to keep it real. What do you think happens in a corporate meeting when you go do a sales presentation? You think you come in and you just start talking? In corporate America, when I went out on a high level sales call, there was introductions, there was opening, there's a get to know you. You don't just go into it. But in this hookup culture where there's no romance, there's no dating, it's just get to the point. That's lacking skills. And that's why you need to develop these things, because human beings don't work that way. Yes, I did, Charles. And see, that's another thing. I'm gonna wrap it up on here. You need to get offline and get in the real world. So many things that go on in these YouTube streets and online spaces are not the real world. Small talk is the real world. Eye contact, handshakes, smiles, the real world. Buying a round of drinks for buying a drink for a stranger just to chat for a few minutes is the real world. Opening doors for complete strangers for the real world. Acknowledging the person at Starbucks who serves you a drink and call her by her first name, the real world. And see, because the internet came along at a time where the culture was going through a massive change. Men were in flux. People were not working their jobs 30 and 40 years anymore. Men get a lot of their status and their knowledge of who they are through their work. So we sit back behind these screens and it simulates the real world. But I tell you, when I work one-on-one with a client in person versus in a screen, it's much better because we need the human touch. When was the last time you were touched? I need you guys to ask yourself a question. When was the last time a woman lovingly touched you on your arm, chest, shoulder, head? When was the last time a woman lovingly touched you on your arm, shoulder, chest, head? When was the last time you strongly yet gently put your hand in the small of a woman's back and pulled her close to you? When was the last time you lifted a woman's chin, lifted her chin, grabbed it firmly yet softly, looked into her eyes and kissed her passionately? When was the last time you actually whispered in a woman's left ear something sexy and provocative? When was the last time you actually pulled a woman close to you, turned her around, put your hand firmly against her stomach and pressed her into you and held her? These are things you, Generation X men, we learned how to do these things and improved our personal skills. You guys feel like you're safer because you don't have the same interactions with women. You're far more vulnerable because you don't have people skills. People are still the same. And when I'm out and about dealing with people who are much higher levels than anybody here on these YouTube streets, they are coupled up, married, booed up, smiling, happy. What you hear a lot on these YouTube streets, it's great. But I know what my real world also shows me. And I moved from Oklahoma to Atlanta. I travel this country. I'm always out and about moving. The question is, what kind of life do you want to have? Do you want to have a life of safety, minimize risk, minimalism? And here's the thing, to me, that's fear. To me, that's fear. It's scarcity. That lone wolf stuff, it's time out for that. This is not a channel for lone wolves. They're over there. And going forward this year, I won't be doing a lot of these, broadcasts where I feel like I'm lecturing guys. There's gonna be some smiles. Wait till you start seeing some more of these videos. I've already got 4 models under contract where they're gonna like, what does she think? What do women like her think? What was the title of that video? What does she think? And I'm gonna have hot women saying what they think about these fragrances. What do they think about the shoes? Look, man, my life is pretty goddamn good. My life is pretty good. And guys, yours can be too. That's what this whole MIT thing is for. MIT LA is coming up in March. If you want to come out to LA with us and go be in the city of angels around and do the professional thing, the personal thing, get out there with those beautiful women, great time, let's go. You have to be a member of Patreon. And for 3 days, 3-day event, it's a steal. A lot of you guys actually just need some, some of you guys may need one-on-one coaching. One-on-one coaching, anywhere you go, is different than mentorship. Mentorship is informal, but the thing is, you need somebody to actually look into your world and be able to chop it up with you and give you a perspective on things to do and work with. I'm gonna tell you, man, everything that I've just talked about, how you handle a woman, that's all I learned. You reinforce that stuff when you learn how to dance with them. Put your hand on the small of her back, turn her around, pull her into you. And guess what? When you do that and you're smelling like the best definition of sexy, and she actually feels small compared to you, and she's looking in your eyes, that woman is transported. Women don't give up. Women don't give that feeling up easily. And the things I'm talking about make you a more well-rounded, developed man. Even if you decided, you know what, I'm not dating for the next 5 years. You still have an active life. An active life. I have a question for the group. How many of you guys are living an attractive life? How many of you guys are living an attractive life for the kind of person you're seeking? Guys, are you living in a life to attract the caliber of woman you say you want? That will be attracted to the kind of woman you say you want? Are you living the kind of life that will be attractive to the kind of man you say you want? I posted a picture of my bike. I posted a picture of my bike. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Guess what? Just like that was part of the conversation I had with a young lady last night, talking about the benefits of spin class and cycling versus running because it's bad for my knees. That's how that all started. Ooh, you smell good. You look good. Da, da, da. My suggestion is if you're not working 60 hours a week minimum that you're getting paid for, that's where you need to start. You got to get your money up. Because the kind of stuff I'm talking about, personal development, let me be the first. If no one's told you, let me hip you to the reality. If you're not willing to start and invest $10,000 in yourself in 1 year, you're not serious. $10,000. That's the beginning. But every year, you should be investing in personal development and self-improvement. 5%. There's a reason that McDonald's and Coca-Cola, two of the largest brands in the world, consistently advertise the market. It's not because they're afraid of losing market share. It's because they want to continue to grow. If you are not investing real money into your personal development, you are not growing. And if you're not growing, honestly, in your profession, you're losing. If you have not had a raise of more than 10%, let me just hit the real number. How are you going to make 50% more in the next 2 years? Because one of the things you young guys don't realize is you're going to be middle-aged before you look up. I don't know why we have so many guys who are in their 30s acting like they're young. At 30, you should be fast track to executive management. You shouldn't be still talking like an entry level employee. Guys, I got to get off here. I got a consult I have to do, but I appreciate you guys showing up. Thank you guys for being patient through my illness. Shout out to the CIA. And ladies, I've had ladies ask me things. I have a video coming for the ladies, fragrances that men love to smell on women. I got that coming too. If you're not a member of my Patreon, that's where it all goes down. I'm doing a little bit more live streams right now because I got to get kind of caught up from being out for so long. The best thing I ever did, guys, in my life was have a coach. I had men around me to tell me things that I did not want to hear, to challenge me. If you don't have anybody in your life, in your world that's challenging you, we can change that. We can change that. We can fix that. All right, guys. Till next time, talk to you later.